What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? I did a short video on this the other day, but I wanted to go a little more in depth with it about as far as the being Bobby Brown reality show and the Houston's on our own reality show. Although some enjoyed it, some loved the being Bobby Brown reality show, some hated it. I um I myself, I'm sort of stuck in the middle on it. I sort of think it was not the right time for the being Bobby Brown, because Uncle Bobby and Auntie Whitney was in the prime of their addiction, and I don't think it was a good look for neither of them. And I understand 100% why Auntie Whitney's people would feel a certain type of way about her being on that show in the image that she gave off. One thing you got to understand is about the industry is you eat and survive off your image. You know what I'm saying? And the image that was given to Auntie Whitney was, the princess image, squeaky clean. So that right there was a bad look for her. Uncle B on the other side, his image was sort of bad boy or R&B. So for him, it didn't really hurt and affect him as much as it hurt and affected Auntie Whitney's business. I feel as if with the whole being Bobby Brown, I think that should have been. I don't think it should have happened at that time. I think the focus should have been on getting Uncle Bobby and Auntie Whitney clean. But one thing I can say about Uncle B and Auntie Whitney is there's a lot of people who tried to come in and help, and I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I can remember even Pat used to come in. I'm an honest person. Pat used to come in, and Pat used to, try to say things to Auntie Whitney and to try to get her clean. And it was the same thing with Uncle Bobby. You know what I'm saying? My Uncle Tommy used to come in and try to change things. My grandmother would try to come in and change things. Pop, Uncle B and Auntie Whitney, honestly, y'all, they were stubborn and they didn't want to hear anything from anybody. They wanted to do what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it, how they wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I realized with an addict too, like I said, I've been through this my whole life with my parents. My mother is an addict, my father's an addict, so I've been dealing with drugs since I came out the womb. One thing about an addict is they're not gonna, as much as you might want them to get better and be clean, they're not gonna do it until they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was. They had to want it for themselves just as bad as everybody wanted it for them. You know what I'm saying? And that just was that. But there was a lot of people who came in and tried to help both. But like I said, they was just both so stubborn, and I sort of think too at one point they was both in denial. Honestly, they was both in denial, because I remember we used to tell Uncle B like, "Damn, you look bad," and people used to tell him, "You ain't looking good," and they was in denial at certain times. Even my mother, you know what I'm saying? They was in denial. So on the Being Bobby Brown series, it was how they truly was. That's the shit that was going on back in that's how shit used to be back then. But I just think it was bad timing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they needed to be on camera at that time. There was just not time. The focus should have been somewhere else. Or if Uncle Bobby was to do it, I feel like he should have did it himself, you know what I'm saying? And then Auntie Whitney should have popped in on a couple scenes, couple episodes. But y'all gotta understand one thing about Auntie Whitney, man, and this is why I love that woman so much. She was just a real ass person, and if she loved you, man, and she was gonna do anything, and anything in her power to damn be there for you. And I think that with her, she just knew Uncle Bobby was her husband, and there was no way that she could do it and not be involved in it every step of the way. So she She put her neck on the line and her career on the line. Know what I mean? For Uncle B and that being Bobby Brown series. Let's just be honest. Know what I'm saying? But that's just how Auntie Whitney was. She was just that type of person. Know what I'm saying? She really was. She put her career and everything on the line for that being Bobby Brown series, man. She really did. But like I was watching her, the Oprah interview yesterday, and she was saying, talking about the Bobby Brown document. Being Bobby Brown a little bit, and she was saying that she was sort of on the fence with a little bit on how she felt too. One thing I did see though that I wanted to say about that Oprah interview too, I seen that she was saying that it was never really, Uncle B hit her like once or twice, I think she said, but she said she had hit Uncle B upside the head 3 times with something, and that was the last time he hit her. Now that's the Auntie Whitney I know what I'm saying? Auntie Whitney, that's what I remember, know what I'm saying? Even in arguments in the house when they used to go back and forth, Auntie Whitney didn't back down from no argument. Know what I'm saying? She wasn't the type of person to back down. She did say Uncle B spit on her though, which I can believe, know what I'm saying? Which I believe. One thing I can say about Auntie Whitney, I've never seen her lie ever. But yeah, I can believe Uncle B spit on her, because if you can, watch my video before when I was saying that he had spit on Auntie Carol about the whole prenup shit with Alicia, know what I'm saying? So that's believable. I never myself witnessed no abuse, so I can't really speak on abuse, but I can just speak on the things that I seen, know what I'm saying? And I don't look at, when I think of Auntie Whitney, and I don't view her, I don't see her as like a woman. Auntie Whitney wasn't the one that was gonna get beat. I didn't see Auntie Whitney go off, and when he would say certain shit, Auntie Whitney would then, what? Who the hell you think you talking? Auntie Whitney was on go. But if she said that and she did say on there that he did hit her smacked her one time. But if she said it, the shit is the truth. I've never caught Auntie Whitney in a lie ever. So I just never witnessed the abuse myself, not as far as physical. I did see, arguments and things of that nature. But yeah, so that was my thing on that. I just think the whole timing on the being Bobby Brown was off. The focus should have been on them just getting help and getting clean. Now, as far as with the Houstons on our own reality show, I feel as that was just the wrong timing too. Chrissy shouldn't have been on no show at that point of time. It was just the wrong time for her as well. It shouldn't have been no shows. But one thing I can say about the networks and the people who run the business, it's all money. It's all a money-driven business. So, just to be fair, Pat and the networks, they seen the dollars in it, because they knew it would be a hit show due to Auntie Whitney passing, and everybody would want to see how Chrissy and how the Houstons was living and how everything was going and with them and how they was coping and all that. So which I understand on why, which I can understand on why Pat would probably think that was a good thing to do. Probably to show the world the thing, what was going on with the Houstons and how they was coping. But once they seen Chrissy show up a few times and she wasn't how she was supposed to be, I think they should have just stopped production on it and focused on getting Chrissy the help that she needed as well. Know what I'm saying? I think they should have focused on Chrissy going to rehab and Chrissy getting the help that she needed as well, because Chrissy was hurting. Know what I'm saying? Chrissy was hurting. She lost her mother, and her father, where she wasn't really active in. Uncle Bobby wasn't really active in her life, and she felt like she didn't really have family. Know what I'm saying? From the Brown side and from the Houston side, she felt like all she had was Nick. Know what I'm saying? And that's why her and Nick was so close like that. I truly believe that Chrissy felt like that was all she had. But with those shows, it was just bad timing. I don't believe neither one of those shows should have ever been should have came out at that time. With Pat being the executive producer though on the Houston reality show, she was able to say, okay, well that scene, take that out. You can keep that in, but take that scene out. Why she allowed certain scenes to go through, I know why, but it was wrong. The whole production should have been shut down with that. You know, Chrissy was just taken advantage of in that situation with the whole Houston's on Our Own reality show. I don't think it should have never happened, honestly. I don't think neither one of them should have happened. And if the Being Bobby Brown show, if they was gonna do them both, they both should have been geared in a different direction. They should have been geared towards getting them the help that was needed. And that should have been the focus of the shows, you know what I'm saying? I also wanted to speak on this too, because a whole lot of people deemed Uncle B and Auntie Whitney crazy, or thought they was losing their mind around the time that they went to Israel. For those who missed the interview with my cousin Gerard, the whole Israel trip wasn't about Uncle Bobby and Auntie Whitney. That Israel trip was about them trying to save my Aunt Bethy, which is Uncle Bobby's sister. They was trying to save her. She was dying of cancer. They was trying to save her. They took her to get baptized in the Jordan River, and they was trying to do anything in their power to make sure that they saved Auntie Bethy's life. I was there when Auntie Bethy took her last breath in my grandmother's house. Very heartbreaking situation. To see somebody go through what Auntie Bethy went through with her cancer. It was a crazy and unfortunate situation, man. Rest in peace to Auntie Bethy. Gone, never forgotten. We will always miss you. Auntie Bethy wasn't really spoke about. A lot of people don't really know of Auntie Bethy because she wasn't spoke about in none of Uncle Bobby's stories, but Auntie Bethy was the oldest sister. And she was a beautiful soul, beautiful aunt, man, and she was a major key, a major piece to this Brown family. And actually, Auntie Bethy was the first Brown that we lost. That's the first death that we experienced as a family, was Auntie Bethy. Then after Auntie Bethy, as a Brown family, after Auntie Bethy, we lost Jared, which was Uncle Tommy's son. He was murdered. And then after Jared, you know, it was my grandmother. Then right after her, it was Pop. Then right after her, it was Auntie Whitney. Then right after Auntie Whitney, I ended up losing my dad to suicide. Shortly right after Auntie Whitney passed away. And then after I lost my dad from suicide, we lost Chrissy. And yeah, and then after Chrissy, it was little Bobby. So it's just been a lot going on. But I just wanted to do a video and give my take on that. Although, you know, I did, the Being Bobby Brown was authentic. It was one of the realest reality shows to ever hit a network. It was the realest show to ever hit a network, but I think it was ahead of its time, and I think it was just bad timing. Because it caused a lot of rifts on both ends. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get back on that and speak on that again, because I didn't really go into it how I wanted to. But yeah, that's all it was. It was just bad timing, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially during that time, drugs was a damn, whew. Drugs was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And around that time, man, it was just wild. You know, Uncle B would get high and he would be damn, his mood would change. He'll be happy, then he'll be angry as hell. I mean, you'll never know what you would get from him. My mother, she would get high, she would just be paranoid as hell, but you know, she would still be damn, she wasn't an angry high, she was a paranoia high. And Auntie Whitney, and I'm just thinking about all the memories in the house. Auntie Whitney, she would get high and she wasn't an angry high either. She was like a happy. I just remember she would get high and she would walk out the damn room and she would then just come in the living room, kitchen, and just be busting out singing. And I remember this song she used to sing for every time she seen me, that Shayne, Shayne, Shayne. I can't sing, y'all, but every time she seen me, she used to damn hit that high note. And yeah, shit used to be crazy. But yeah, though, man, it's just a lot of memories. I'm glad y'all enjoying these stories. I'm gonna keep these stories coming. Now that I see that y'all enjoy the stories and all that, I got stories for days, y'all. So I'm gonna keep the stories coming. I enjoy it too, because it's like, it's so therapeutic for me to talk about it. And you know what I mean? It just brings me back in memory lane, and it's like, damn, I miss those days. I wish there was things that I could have did and said, and maybe it would have changed things. But you know, I look at it, I was still young. I was young. But I miss those days. I miss it. I miss the family. I miss it. I miss those days. But rest in peace to everybody we lost. You're truly missed. Truly missed. Gone, never forgotten. This channel is dedicated to you all, from Ma, Pop, Auntie Bethy, Auntie Whitney, Bobby Jr., Chrissy, Jarrett, Auntie Bethy. I do this for y'all, man. Much love. Shots of brown, baby.